Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is round 3 here, as we've got GMAE facing up against Cosa Gaming. Both teams struggling so far. Our 27th seed in GMAE versus the 29th seed, Cosa Gaming. Now finding themselves looking for that win over the other. They can move up just a little bit in our Swiss bracket. There's an invade here. Level 1. Nautilus not getting connected by the chains there of Retrozing. Very close to getting that with the Abscon Abduct. But MEECHOL barely surviving on that one. Able to dodge certain death there with a good Spider-Man out of there. I don't like this draft that we see from both teams. Senna actually making their way through the draft. So rare to see. Actually played. Normally it's just been permanently banned. Sometimes skating right through, like with this draft. And the Senna Tom Kench, which is actually also interesting because we've been seeing so much of Senna paired up with another marksman, such as Ashe or Lucian, Varus. Having not seen Champion Select. Not exactly sure how that one went. But for both teams, got some interesting identities for themselves. Some scaling here through that Vigor in the mid lane. I'm curious to see, as Goodshot does have the lethal tempo, so I'm expecting on-hit Varus here. But you never know. You still can kind of change that around depending on what your team needs. Also like Lilia here for Jungle Barber. Evanlai. Oh, the pull in from MEECHOL. Took a bit of damage there from Souldier. But being the Tom Kench and Nautilus, the two that absorbed a lot of the pressure there, they'll both be okay with that. The only thing is that Souldier and Lion will get a little bit of that pressure back. They're going to get that level 2 spike first. Forcing back Goodshot and MEECHOL. Keeping them pinned underneath the turret for now. They're trying to clear out the minions the best they can. Miss out only a couple of them. Nothing too exciting here. Not exactly expecting that to... not expecting there to be too much action for some time here. Between our squads. Especially when you have a Senna Tom Kench lane. Well, yeah, they get this level 2 spike first. They're staying passively. Even look at that. Afraid of the freeze there. Peeling back immediately. Despite Retrozing and Aeon Crystal already rotating down. But it does give them a little bit of time to work with. Invading here. Retrozing and Crystal. On that red buff, Jungle Barber can't do anything. When you have two losing lanes at the moment. The push there, back onto Goodshot and MEECHOL. While Eliass was also shoved in mid lane. No real way you can defend that. So it was wise of Jungle Barber to give that up to Aeon Crystal. So yeah, you can have that. Have that for now. Get a little bit of that pressure back. Here we go. Aeon Crystal into the bot lane, looking for Goodshot. Getting the root onto MEECHOL. The Spider-Man out. The shield and the flash. Surviving the play. Even getting the ghost out of Goodshot. But the flash there out of MEECHOL, not actually that devastating for the side of GMAE. Now Goodshot losing the flash a bit more dicey. The fact that it was a ghost and flash out of one of each of them. Actually, probably the best case scenario with that kind of gank from an early Lee Sin. As Jungle Barber going for their own invade into Aeon Crystal, having spotted him into the bot side of the map. Here's Eliass putting down the baby cage, not getting tagged by the Abscon nor Abduct. Instead, now getting jumped on and flashing away from Aeon Crystal. He props out to Cosa at the moment. Their jungler going from lane to lane, bot to mid, getting flashes, getting summoner spells. Now, if you go top lane and get the Cosa out of Daniel, I'll be so surprised. But actually, it's going to be a little bit of a skirmish in the jungle with the Jungle Barber. In the flash out of Aeon Crystal. The flash coming in from Retrozing, looking for the Abscon Abduct. Not going to connect it. Jungle Barber stays true. But another flash blown by Aeon Crystal. Another summoner gone for the side of GMAE. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Should even have a bit of that pressure. This is what I was kind of calling for. I was saying, Aeon Crystal, you're going to go from bot to mid to top. And does in fact do that. Hanging around on this top side of the map too. Looking to back up Pride here. Kawaii Aruru. But does complete the recall. So not actually going to get all summoners, at least one apiece from every single lane. But did go for the gank on every single lane, which is kind of crazy. Doing the old school Lee Sin style, back when that was like the big thing. It was level 6 for Retrozing. Steals away. Primordial Burst. Just puts pressure onto Eliass, who has yet to recall. Still put that Tear of the Goddess there. Stacking that up the best they can. While Void Grubs have been taken by Aeon Crystal on the top side of the map. Jungle Barber was hoping that the bot lane maybe could help out, but they are all going to fall back knowing that Retrozing was pathing around. Could have contested that. But nothing's going to be gotten from GMAE in this game. Not yet, at least. All 3 of the early grubs, Ed and Eddie, have been secured by Aeon Crystal. I'm looking at him. Still looking at that minimap, see how he's going to do. Whether or not he'll path towards that top side of the map. Look to get that final summoner spell out of a lane that he wasn't able to get before. Baby Cage, oh, barely. Didn't connect the stun to cancel the recall. So Retrozing gets the TP, gets back into lane. Got the Merc Treads, has the Dark Seal, looking to stack that up early into this game. So it's the Boots of Lucidity for Eliass. Looking just to throw out more Baby Cages, more Qs. Anytime you can, the Baneful Strike. As a Vigar player myself, always looking to stack those up. Like, let's take a look. 42 stacks so far on our counter there for Eliass. Not the most impressive this early into the game, but also not too bad. Granted, I tend to play Vigar more in the supportive role, purely because I hate CSing, and I much prefer playing aggressively and attacking the enemy. That's what's nice about support Vigar. Max out the Baby Cage, throw out your Qs every once in a while. Call in the rocket, the Meteor Strike whenever you need to. What I like to call the W. Actually, you know what is the W called? My brain is... That's Dark Matter, okay. Yeah. Baneful Strike. Baleful. Oh, it's Baleful. 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 I thought it was Baneful. Alright, anyways. Now Crystal, Sonic Wave connects. Getting a little bit of damage there onto Jungle Barber. Looking for the knock up. There they go. The Abyssal Dive. Did get a lot of damage onto MEECHOL. But he had just gotten that TP, that flashback off of cooldown. So he was able to use that pretty much off of cooldown to survive. Cosa still maintaining control over GMAE's jungle. The red buff that had spawned that was stolen away before by Aeon Crystal, again, will be secured here. And despite the fact that Jungle Barber had done a good job of kind of farming up the game, trying to stay even with Aeon Crystal, who had been ganking everywhere and lost out on that red buff, right back. Aeon Crystal has gotten about the same amount of jungle farm as Jungle Barber and stealing away that red buff, getting the play on the Void Grubs before, Ed and Eddie secured before. Now the Dragon. This map is run by this Lee Sin. Even if the gold is dead even between the two. It is all dictated at the moment by Aeon Crystal. And Jungle Barber just feels like they can't do anything here to compete against Aeon Crystal and how they can fight back in this one. Well, slowly but surely, some of the lanes are getting some CS. Daniel doing a good job here up against Pride. Mid lane, Eliass still doing a good job against Retrozing. Hasn't died at all. That's Vigar into a Silas. Actually, it's a best case scenario at the moment. The bot lane, too. Or was that initial level 2 experience lead for Souldier and Lion? Well, good shot, MEECHOL. they've battled right back, and they're perfectly content. Only thing is with the Senna on the other side, the Senna Tahm Kench. We talked about this before, where we sometimes have seen the tech where the ADC will get a semi-late World Atlas. So that way, once the Runic Compass is upgraded there for your support, you continue to get more gold and you scale up a little bit quicker. Well, Senna is great at that, especially here with the Tahm Kench, who's already got their World Atlas, the second item. Daniel, unstoppable, getting away. But as the Void Grubs had been started, it's the fight. One stolen away, and that is 5. Lifting Lullaby. It is followed up. They've got the damage onto Daniel, who has yet to go all out just yet. Gets kicked over the wall. Actually might have saved him there, Ion Crystal. You kept them alive as the Void Grubs still around. Healing back with Lion here as well. They're calling up Souldier. That is going to be the Event Horizon getting the stun, but everyone has already recalled. The Void Grubs secure in the hands of Cosa Gamers. That will be 6 for themselves, and this is a mechanic that genuinely, when you have split pushers like this, when you have Olaf that you can send into the side lane, the Silas too, going to be devastating on how he can set up 1v1 against Eliass later on into the game. This 1-3-1 is going to be difficult to deal with now that you have 6 of the Grubs picked up by Cosa Gamers. GMAE, you pretty much have to make sure that they're never hitting your turret so they're not getting the buff. Maybe having this fight work well as Lion taking a lot of damage, flashing over the wall, but the burn was enough to pick up the kill. Good shot, getting first blood. Kind of wild to think that nobody has fallen. We've had quite a few skirmishes, but that was the first kill in the game. As Eliass going to be the next target, puts down the baby cage. Denies Retrozing from chasing him any further. And again, will survive. The members of GMAE constantly getting out of danger by the skin of their teeth. Kind of wild to see that they have yet to fall when so much pressure has been put on them by Cosa Gamers, getting themselves all 6 of the Void Grubs after that fight as well, but nobody died. But honestly, I almost think, now that I think about it, those Void Mites might actually be bad for Retrozing, because Eliass can get stacks off those from the Baleful Strike. Wait a minute. That's actually some counterintuitive tech there. Now Daniel getting the TP from Eliass to save him and scare away the members that were chasing him. Retrozing. Same with Pride. Didn't want to continue that. But regardless of my ideas with the Void Might and Vigar, he has to be there to collect them. And when he's not, you can see how much damage and how quickly they burn through turrets, burn through plates. None of the plates had been taken before in the bot lane. 2 quickly gone now. More gold for Souldier and Lion to share between themselves. Not going to be able to get that third one, even if they burn it down to about 50%. But they probably could get the turret. I wouldn't be too surprised if they look for a play around this bottom half of the map. The dragon spawning here. 35 seconds. Just waiting it out. Both teams. Not really wanting to go for the play. Retrozing's in the bot lane, dealing with 2. Bot lane was called up for Cosa Gamers so they can get that Rift Herald. These mechanics to kind of keep him powerful. We see a nice shield there with the knock of Retrozing. Nearly taking down MEECHOL. He survived, though. The flash away from the arrows, but the auto attack, Goodshot, finally does die to the turret. But all the while, Jungle Barber had found the rotating bot lane to pick up Souldier. 2 more kills for GMAE. It could be the answer back as Aeon, Bristle, right there. Nope, never mind. I take back what I was saying. Rift Herald was secured there and given over to Pride. This Olaf can plop that down wherever you want. Like I said, the split push from an Olaf gonna be kind of nuts here when you have 6 Void Grubs. Double might that will spawn when you're attacking turrets. pretty much will force Daniel to always match this Olaf. And when you don't, like right now, spotted in the bot lane. Surprised we don't see an immediate pop of the eye to look for this turret. Look for two, honestly. Because the dragon will be secured by GMAE. But even with the turret being fully healthy, I'm expecting that to go quickly. The fight from GMAE nearby. Dragon is gone. The rest of Cosa Gamer deciding to fall back. Not looking for the play. Like I said, that turret fully healthy before. A lot of free time for an Olaf. He'll get that first brick gold for himself. Kind of wild also to think that no first brick had happened just yet. And Olaf going to be the beneficiary on that. Will make Pride very happy here. Retrozing put in the cage, locked in against Eliass, but dodging away from the dark matter. Comic did not connect. But the bot lane is now going to be threatened here for GMAE, missing that sonic wave. A lot of little void might spawned up, throwing out the chain of corruptions. That's going to be the follow-up, looking for the kick on to Goodshot, but the pull back in. MEECHOL keeping Aeon underneath the turret so they can turn around, make a 1-for-2 in favor of GMAE. Retrozing a little bit too late. No mana from Eliass. Means no further fight, but things looking good for GMAE as they got those kills. And a lot of that, MEECHOL, very well done with that knock up there. The depth charge to lock in Aeon and Crystal so that there's no way out of there. And as he was the one who took the aggro first and wanted to jump out of there. You saw the ward hop initially attempted, but couldn't. They get themselves the prize here, and as Dimitri, Hulk Browdery likes to say, fake buff here with the 6 Void Grubs. And I like to say it's a snowball mechanic. You get ahead, or even get the split push going, it's difficult to contend against. Right now, with a dead even game, no snowball just yet available. But with the Olaf still holding on to the eye of the Rift Herald. Can pop that, use the charge to go crash down into the turret. Possibly take a tier 2 if they want to. But holding on to that for quite some time. Maybe waiting for Daniel to join in on another fight somewhere else on the map. And while the early game was going well for Cosa gamers, especially Aeon Crystal here, alas, it was only summoner spells that were truly gained beforehand. A lot of these neutral objectives, sure, were also gathered for them. Got some resources, but they didn't get that snowball that it looked like they could have gotten. Now getting a pick here on Daniel could be big, but unstoppable. Dashing away, pulled back in by the Devourer, but the bot lane, Primordial Burst down with the all-out coming in from Daniel. The kick doesn't happen. The Abyssal Dive will, as Lion helps secure the kill. So trade 1-for-1 across the map with the turret falling in the bot lane. There's more gold collected, keeping themselves rather well off, especially with the on-hit VARs I was talking about before. Having a Valigar on their team, a lot of scaling that they can utilize. Especially because the Rift Herald was taken and gonna go the wrong way. Maybe chasing down, scaring off Jungle Barber, using that for the mobility here. Galloping, doesn't connect onto anybody, but Lion will be pulled back in. He tried to roar with the charge of Shelly, but now they're in a horrible position. That TP from Daniel locking them all in. The escape from Lion, but it leaves Aeon Crystal and the rest of the team out to dry as they are going for the fight. The flash coming in from Olaf will get the kill on a good shot, but they already lost out on Lee Sin. While Retrozing all outs himself onto Daniel. They trade back a double kill for Pride. Flash in, Jungle Barber burns his own double kill. 2-for-2 at the moment. 2 double kills. Pull back in onto Lion, and he cannot escape as they continue to burn. This Lilia wants as much damage as possible. Another burn on the Lion. The shield not in time. Unofficial triple kill. Making a quadra kill for Jungle Barber. Could be the Penta. Looking for Retrozing. The movement speed. The dash away. Retrozing will deny the unofficial Penta. But it's 4 kills for Lilia. GMAE. That was a dicey fight for themselves. But the fact that they still 3-4-4 trade in their favor gives him a bit of control around the upcoming dragon. 20 seconds until that will spawn. Let's go to gamers. They're put on the back foot, and this is looking a little dicey for them. As I said, the Void Grub buff is a great snowball mechanic, great for split pushing. Pride needs to be in those side lanes, and now having 2 kills from that last fight, the double kills, will help out this Olaf. But you still got set up. You don't want to really be with the team. They feel like they're forced to, as the team fight prowess right now, where GMAE is allowing them a lot of control around this dragon pit. Third one of the game that they'll collect for themselves. So that instead of going for the play, realizing it could be devastating for themselves, they tried to take down the tier 2 mid lane, getting a little bit of damage, but now they're rotating around, maybe attempting a fight at the dragon pit. The blast going over the wall. They've locked in Retrozing into the baby cage. So go for the ulting lullaby. It's off cooldown, but they want to get it. More members. 3 connected. Sleepy time for 2 gone. Make it a double kill and a burst of damage for 2 double kills. They could go for the full house if they wanted to, but Pride, he's out of there. They don't want to fight that one. They've realized with 4 gone on the side of Cosa, they could easily peel back for this Baron. And even Pride realizes their only hope for them now is split push, utilizing that buff from the Grubs. Take as much damage onto the turret as they can, but Daniel meets them in the bot lane. Since there's no TP on this top laner for the side of Costa Gamer, even if Daniel doesn't have his up, doesn't matter. There's no way that Pride can get there. So Baron, after getting their second dragon of the game, GMAE dragging this game back. If you look at only the first 10 minutes of the game, you would have thought this was going to be Costa Gamers. But 2 decisive fights for Jungle Barber have bounced back this Lilia, hopping and skipping our way to the top. Even looking at the gold right now, that is the most gold for the team of GMAE is on Jungle Barber. This Lilia is the most important factor. 5-0, Riftmaker, Leandries, even the Oblivion Orb, denying the healing, denying the sustained damage that you have from the Olaf, from Senna, from Silas. None of them really feel that confident in this fight. And look at this, Jungle Barber so fast on this Lilia. Forces out the dive there from Lion, barely escaping again. But all it means is that GMAE moving around as a unit and going to the top lane, get more gold for themselves. Even if Retrozing maybe will get the start in the bot lane. No, he won't even get that. Daniel, again, there to answer. This time with TP up. So Retrozing, the one with the TP on the team for Costa Gamers. Even if he can join in, cannot actually do anything helpful. They're not going to get the turret. They're not going to get the gold. Daniel just keeps moving around to match Retrozing so they can't answer back and equate the plays that are happening in this top lane, with the Baron buff helping to whittle down this tier 2, this outer structure for Costa Gamers. Really, it's just a slow burn at this point for GMAE. Vigar already having a fully stacked Roa, the Rabadon's Death Cap, Tear of the Goddess fully stacked as well, so you can get that Seraph's Embrace whenever you go for the next recall if you have enough gold for it. Not yet. It is the scaling game that is working out for them. Finally, the chart falls. They still have the 4 members here. Daniel has that TP. Retrozing could look for a play. They've got Aeon Crystal on the other side. But no, they're not confident with the play. They call it off. And same with GMAE. They've got what they came for. They capitalize on that Baron. So they can easily get out of there. Reset on the map. Even seeing that, not even going for the Seraph, just getting that Blighting Jewel. Eliass really wants to burst down any resistances. Really, the only resistance being from Lion. A little bit from Aeon Crystal. Well, that's not much to worry about with the Hex Shrinker. when you have a rabbit on death cap, like, let's look at how many stacks you got here. Nope. There you go. 252. You're at 744 AP on this Vigar. Yeah, that Hex Drinker is not going to keep you alive. It's not going to do enough. The Force of Nature, maybe a little bit more, but once that Void Staff is completed, Lion, you too will seem squishy in the eyes of Vigar. With 30 seconds until the next dragon spawns, no soul for either team, but getting themselves within striking distance of it. GMAE already moving around. Even, wow, Jungle Barber that confident. Magi's built. Surprised to see that was the next go-to, but it looks like Jungle Barber, Evanlai, feels that confident and has a 2-level lead against Aeon Crystal. Might even look for the 1v1 there. All the while, Daniel in the mid lane. The siege, with this many members, they will take down that tier 2 mid lane. Daniel survives against 4 members, even diving back in, forcing out the flash of Lion. The flash comes in from MEECHOL. Depth charge, double knock, a pull back in. The catfish has been baited. A killing spree for the angler himself. As the team will now push themselves. GMAE down mid lane, all the while Jungle Barber taking that dragon for the team. Should easily be able to get that without any assistance, and all the while the Hex Flash. MEECHOL wants this baby cage laid out. Stolen all out. Tried to drag her back in. Does get the shutdown on MEECHOL, but the burst of damage. Olaf is out of there. The kick does not stop them. Aeon Crystal sniped out as Goodshot finds the pierce there with the bow and arrow flashing away as the turret had collapsed on him. But waiting for the minions. 3 members still alive as Lion had just respawned. The Jungle Barber chasing so far had put Souldier to sleep, but didn't want to chase. Realized the catfish could use Devour to keep her alive. Instead, the team will start opening up the base of Cosa Gamers. This Lilia is disgusting right now. Not even a part of the fight. Shows up at the end. She kind of shows up and says, I can do all this damage to Souldier. Nearly killing the Senna. Stealing away everything. Revenge is sweet, isn't it, Evan? Jungle Barber getting another. Just eating good right now. Having been starved early game. 3, if you count the Magi's, 4 items completed for Lilia. Only the 2 on the other side as the Maw of Malmortius has been completed by Aeon Crystal. All that early game pressure going from lane to lane. It netted the summoner spells, but it never netted the kills that it needed to. Gave enough time for Eliass, for Jungle Barber, for Goodshot, and for Daniel to stay in this game, to get themselves gold. So now you see 3 items there. The Terminus finished for Goodshot, making them a little bit more difficult to burst down. Even look at that. The Crypt Bloom. Eliass going for a little bit more healing as Jungle Barber dives in. I think that's actually a very good idea with how much diving they have. Nautilus, Lilia, Cassante all want to get into the back line, get on top of Souldier, Aeon Crystal as best they can. So having something that can heal them up even more so. Like, how much healing does it do? It does a lot, if I recall. Yeah, look at that. Well, that's a lot of healing. Now they've started up on the Baron. Retrozing does have TP. Can show up for the fight. 50% onto the Baron. And all the while, where's that baby cage? Put down to deny Aeon Crystal from getting inside the pit. But the Crystal and the cage is gone. The dive in. No steal there. Aeon Crystal shattered as he dove in and lost his life and the Baron. That could have been the saving grace with Retrozing on the side lane. Had that been stolen away, open up the base. GMAE, it would have been on the back foot suddenly after winning so many decisive fights. But Jungle Barber, his resolve was resolute. He had no fear, and now Goodshot kiting away from Pride. Ragnarok has been popped with that Terminus, given the tankiness what I talked about, nearly helping out with a solo bolo. But on the other side, one bowling ball away. Jungle Barber sniped that kill back. 2 now dead on the side of Cosa Gamers. And Eliass MEECHOL go back into the mid lane, clear out these minions. And Jungle Barber actually even on split push duty as this Lilia. Waiting for the baby cage. On to Lion. Diving away. Abyssal dive flashed away by Eliass. Level 17. The flash 2 from MEECHOL. Was a little worried about that. Another bowling ball connected. But not the strike that time. Just wanted to get out of there. Let the team escape. Back off, recall. See how these purchases go. Another blighting jewel, this time for Jungle Barber. Oof. They are bursting these members, aren't they? Wait, I just realized, it's Crypt Bloom? It does give Magic Fan. Oh my goodness. Wait, that item's insane. Hello? Why am I not building this more? I need to build that item more. Gotta love the new items, right? All right, Jungle Barber. Spotted out by Lion, dodging away from everything. Getting that movement speed. And then re-engaging with the Chain of Corruption and Lion, you look like you're a little kitty cat as you got melted away. Burned down, 20 stacks now on Lilia with the Magi's. Peeling back for the Ocean Soul. It's not just a prize in their eyes, it is a prize that they will collect gladly. No possible way for a steal as Pride was mid lane. Wanted to push down the minions the best he could with the help of the Void Mites. The fact that Goodshot caught the wave, denying the crash there, allows his team then to go into the bot lane, push themselves deep into enemy lines. Nearly sieging this inhibitor turret already. Ocean Soul on their side, so any poke that could come in from Cosa Gamers is going to do nothing here. As that turret melts away, toppled in seconds. Same with the inhibitors, they will go quickly as well. Minions not quite there to help out, but 2 inhibitors easily taken by GMAE. They'll back off, rinse and repeat. Still got quite some time until a Baron will spawn, but honestly, they don't really care about that. They can bait in a fight here out of Cosa Gamers or get a stun on the other side. I thought they might start onto Aeon Crystal, but Jungle Barber, he wants to chase down Tom Kench. Feeling like he wants some seafood tonight. Got a lot of damage as Retrozing helps out a little bit. Devour onto Jungle Barber. Can they burst down Lilia? The flash away. Lilting Lullaby gets one. The chase down, shut down. But what happens on the other side? It's a shutdown picked up, getting the unstoppable Eliass. You'll take that if you're Cosa. An even game state. A support lost for the jungler that was so fed could be nice if you can reset quickly enough. Got to get back into the base. The super minions did scare Cosa Gamers. But honestly, that is a best case scenario. You shut down this Lilia a little bit. No longer the 20 stacks on that Magi's. Slowing it down just a touch. But still. 2 minutes, about a minute and a half until the Baron will spawn. 4 minutes away from Elder. Yep, there it is. Another Crypt Bloom has been purchased this time. It is Evanlai, Jungle Barber. They've got it for themselves. They weren't already healing up enough before. Now having 2 Crypt Blooms, they get 1 kill. Suddenly they all go from next to no health to back to full in a second. If you are Cosa Gamers, maybe this pick on a MEECHOL could help out. The Abyssal dive, but the rest of the team's already turned on their heels and they knew what was happening. They had spotted it out, the flash in, looking for Souldier. The burst of damage did not pick up the kill as Retrozing is on the other side, but they already lost out on Olaf, and Retrozing could not primordial burst nobody. It was a double kill for Eliass. Everyone dies. The TPs are there, and GMAE will take this game. I talked about the Crypt Bloom heal, and that happened exactly as so. 1 kill, that's all you needed. And then it all goes away for Cosa Gamers. Clean ace, And finally, GMAE get themselves on the board with a victory.